This is the iconic Apple store at the Cupertino campus, and here we see this the layout of the home button building. It is really kind of nostalgic and to visit this iconic campus, and we're able to touch the campus.
I'm in Mountain View, California, and this is at the heart of the Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley has a lot of companies, that really, that gives the technology that we use almost every day, directly or indirectly. This is a technological hotbed. Seeing some of the companies in Silicon Valley, including Google today, I could really feel, why this is such a big ecosystem of everything, from Stanford universities and many other universities to, the tech companies, the venture capital investors. The whole ecosystem is there. Just like in Los Angeles, Hollywood, you have the whole ecosystem for making films, right from the ideation to the final film, right? You have studios, you have everything. And then today I'm really happy because after decades of after using Google products, finally I was able to visit this iconic location of Google. We use Google every day. I mean, for search, for everything. I mean, search, Chrome browser, Android system. Because I was working in China before, and and at that time, before we were setting up an Android delivery center in China. So, and also I also developed an Android app for my content management. So that's the reason I'm really fascinated with Google, and the many ways that Google impacts us directly, indirectly. YouTube. Recently, I started a YouTube channel as well, and then it really impacts. I mean, every day that probably if one can say, it will not be a false that without Google we can't survive. So that's really iconic, to be seeing. I was seeing the Waymo self-driving cars, and then they have the Nest, home IoT system kind of. It's impacting us in many ways, and this is the place where all these. This is the headquarters for those places where and this is the iconic. A canopy building where of course all these tech spots have these iconic buildings where they are all water positive, minimal damage to environment or minimal impact to environment kind of. This is iconic the canopy building. That's kind of the headquarters for Google, and the area around has a lot of offices of Google. So this is iconic Google headquarters. The Google Experience Center in California, in Mountain View, California. And this is like the Google. It has 4 different components: the Google Store, the Google, the Huddle, and the pop-up store. And then there is a cafe where I also had a cafe coffee because I was in the cafe. And then we see, this is the Harvest, the kind of the canopy building with, intelligent building with water positivity and, all the great environmental features of, positive to the environment or minimal impact to the environment. And it was spectacular seeing this, Google, because Google impacts our life in many ways. Like every day we use it for search, for the Chrome browser, Android operating system. If you are using a mobile phone, generally it's either Android or, Apple iOS, right? Most of the phones. So if you're using a mobile phone, it is Android. And also back when I was working in China before, many years before, we set up an Android delivery center for Android apps in China. So I also developed an Android app for my own, content management. And so Google is iconic. Then the Nest IoT devices, and then we have the Waymo self-driving cars I was seeing in San Francisco, Los Angeles, and other places. So Google impacts our life in a wide variety of ways, and this is the iconic hardware canopy building. And these are all, the area around also has a lot of Google buildings. This area in Mountain View, California, it's part of the larger Silicon Valley ecosystem where you have the whole ecosystem from investors to universities to ideators to everything. They all come together and create the great technology companies that impact our everyday lives. I'm at the iconic Google Experience Center in Mountain View, California. This is a part of the Silicon Valley, which you have all the iconic companies. And this is the Google store. There you can visit the Huddle store and, the cafe and, small pop-up store. So it's the place is really, this is an iconic building, water positive building and all those stuff, right? The canopy, the famous canopy building. So it's really, we use Google products, Google for search, YouTube, Chrome browser, and many other Google products that we use in our everyday lives. And for me, it was particularly iconic because I've been thinking to come here for many years. So it's finally fulfilled. So this is an iconic Google office, and this area has many other Google offices as well. I'm at the Google Visitor Experience Center. There are a lot of things like huddle, and there's a cafeteria also. Having some lemonade kind of drink, and this is exciting because for years, decades, I've been using Google's products, Google, YouTube, and all other products, right? And then visiting this Google Experience Center is a real at the center of the Silicon Valley. Today, I visited many Silicon Valley companies, and I was amazed actually. The kind of calm environment, and the environment that's just right for developers and all the intelligent and brilliant and smart people that come out to work here. I also visited the Stanford University, and now I'm visiting this Google Experience Center. So it's truly a really remarkable experience. Right now, I'm in front of the Facebook headquarters, and this is called the One Hacker Way. Facebook has been renamed as Meta since 2022, and this is the Facebook, the headquarters. These kind of buildings. I'm right just in front of the Facebook or the Meta headquarters in Menlo Park, California. This is I'm in front of the Facebook headquarters in Menlo Park, California, and this is called Meta now, of course. This is the Facebook headquarters. The Silicon Valley, technically the Silicon Valley, it's a place called Palo Alto between San Francisco and San Jose. There is this Bay Area, and this is the this is one of the example of a tech campus, but wherein you see those low-lying buildings, very pleasant, very calm and soothing, and people, brilliant and smart people from all over the world working here. There, there is a Stanford University also nearby. So all these iconic tech companies, Google, Apple, Meta, Facebook, Xerox, Broadcom, all these, HP, all these tech companies are here. It's no wonder once when we see this tech ecosystem, right, we really understand why these companies produce a kind of the technological marvels that we all use in our everyday lives. Like we all use all these products. It's really spectacular. The campuses are very low lying and very spectacular in the sense, calm and nice roads, nice gardens, nice everything. Yeah, and then they get free kind of free or subsidized lunch on campus. And the Stanford University, the whole ecosystem is there, just like in Los Angeles, the whole ecosystem of film and cinema is there. So no wonder that these are the tech hotspots. Palo Alto in California, and right now I'm just right in front of the chapel, or the church in front of the iconic Stanford University. This place is technically the Silicon Valley of the world, where the most iconic technological products of the world get released in this place. So because of you have the academia in the form of Stanford University and other universities, and then the industry, and then people study here. They go for creating new great companies, or they sometimes even leave it in between and create, right, and then. So the whole technological ecosystem is here. Basically, I was touring, many iconic companies in this area today, and I'm here at this place, and we find that the iconic. This iconic Stanford University. Obviously, they show this. I have seen this in videos so many times. And so, summarizing, the whole technological or the high tech ecosystem is here. Like you have these companies, you have these universities, you have these people, the smartest people from around the world coming, studying here or working here. You have the venture capitalists. You have the whole ecosystem. Like in Los Angeles, you have the whole film and cinema making ecosystem, right? And this is the beautiful chapel. I just went inside the chapel. I didn't have more time to explore, but this is really, really fantastic. This is the front porch of the Stanford University, an iconic university where where you have the tech hotbed. Something known as a memorial court, and yeah, this porch is very nice. The Silicon Valley, yeah, technically the Silicon Valley, it's a place called Palo Alto between San Francisco and San Jose. There is this Bay Area, and this is the this is one of the example of a tech campus, but wherein you see those low-lying buildings, very pleasant, very calm and soothing, and people, brilliant and smart people from all over the world working here. There, there is a Stanford University also nearby. So all these iconic tech companies, Google, Apple, Meta, Facebook, Xerox, Broadcom, all these, HP, all these tech companies are here. It's no wonder once when we see this tech ecosystem, right, we really understand why these companies produce a kind of the technological marvels that we all use in our everyday lives. Like we all use all these products. It's really spectacular. The campuses are very low lying and very spectacular in the sense calm and nice roads, nice gardens, nice everything. Yeah, and then they get free kind of free or subsidized lunch on campus. And the Stanford University, the whole ecosystem is there, just like in Los Angeles, the whole ecosystem of film and cinema is there. So no wonder that these are the tech hotspots of the world. This is Palo Alto and part of the Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley is a kind of a very long corridor, if not a corridor. It's an area, encompassing this San Francisco and the Bay Area in total. There are many, many tech companies in this part of the world. And this is a campus of Broadcom. As we walk past by this street, we find many new campuses, many campuses. This whole ecosystem of the tech companies, tech startups, and angel investors, the hardware, the software, and all these people are there in this part of the Silicon Valley. It's really amazing, actually. And this ecosystem is so massive, because there are hundreds, thousands of people working and smart people working who are all kind of millionaires to billionaires range, and they have huge, they make huge money. That the salaries are huge. All other options like perks, like and options like stock options are huge, and this is like the tech center of the world and one of the richest places on the planet. And there is a huge ecosystem, just like in Los Angeles. We have the film and movie related ecosystem from people who make dresses, who design and who do a lot of stuff, right? And then here you have this, similarly you have the tech ecosystem, like Hollywood, Los Angeles has so many film related stuff that make up the whole thing. So this is, we are walking in Palo Alto. This is also the place for Stanford University, which is a university regarded for the high tech education. So total ecosystem, area is extremely beautiful, nice roads, nice everything, nice greenery, everything, etc. And this on my side is a Xerox campus. So these are like basically spectacular part of the world. I mean, Silicon Valley is just, as they call, is very hard to be replicated elsewhere as well, because there are of course a few clusters where people are trying to replicate this kind of Silicon Valley, but the ecosystem that is here is huge. Just like Hollywood has a film and movie ecosystem built around it, it's not just one factor or two factors, but the combination of many factors, and above all the human resources, like the quality of human resources. And smartest and brightest people from around the world come here, especially for software outsourcing and this applications outsourcing and software and mobile apps and all this stuff. People from India, China, and all these places come in huge numbers, and they build up this among others. I mean, there are people from all over the world, smart people from the smart who have studied in and then came here, and then they're building their careers. The pay is super, and it's not just the pay, but it's also inclusive of their perks, like stock options and all those things. Sometimes the stock prices go so high, and one person was remarking, like in Silicon Valley people love their companies as long as their stock price goes up, but this is like amazing part where the perks, like and the area is really literally so beautiful and so extremely part of this is a high-tech capital of the world. California somehow traditionally has been this high-tech capital. Many of the world-changing companies have been headquartered here, and it's amazingly spectacular. We see this the campuses of I'm just walking on the street, and beside me I'm seeing the campus. Campus of Broadcom. Yeah, we see the board of Broadcom. This is I'm on the street. Then we see the campus is so nice, and then this side is a Xerox campus, and that's also so nice. Low-lying buildings, usually 2-3 floors kind of, and then nice situated. I mean, they look relaxed actually. If you look at those buildings, one can almost say that this is. It's really conducive to work, because I studied civil engineering in my undergraduate degree, so I can see the ergonomics and of people, they're calm. In many of the buildings there are many attempts and measures that are made to people feel calm actually, and this Silicon Valley is that kind of ecosystem providing and then that's the reason this is home to some of the the world changing companies in the whole world. Almost most of the tech giants are headquartered here in the Silicon Valley portion. They are like you call it Facebook, Google, or Oracle, all this Broadcom, or this VMware, and the Xerox, and all these. I mean, so many world class companies are really headquartered here. The ecosystem, walking through on the road itself, it feels so nice, and it's one can understand what is the kind of the secret sauce or the reason behind the success of tech companies in this part of the world. This is really amazing and kind of spectacular. Again, we see the SAP board sign ahead, and this is really nice. I mean, there are many factors that really made this place the Silicon Valley of the world, or I'm really liking these campuses. Yeah, these campuses have very good facilities. They have gyms. They have either subsidized food or sometimes free food, and the food is also super great. I mean, people will all these reasons to make people to belong here, and then make them more motivated. People get nice food, they will be motivated to work there, and all normal human conditions. I mean, everywhere, so whether they are high tech people or normal people are the same, right? I mean, they may have millions and billions, but still people are the same. So nice food and nice environment. So basically doing everything possible to attract people to really come here and work. And It's really nice. I mean, see, just the kind of the low-lying buildings, or these are really. These are like, everyone obviously here has a car. America has, it's a car obsessed nation, and obviously can't really probably make it without a car here. It's impossible almost. So, people having cars, and the campus is so nice. I mean, it just feels so pleasant and conducive to work. Yeah, low-lying buildings, generally 2-3 floor buildings, and then very very quiet, very nice. And I think for environment that world class, these developers and all these people prefer to really work in such. It's Main Street. I'm just walking through and having a glimpse at the buildings. It's really really nice. I mean, yeah, so calm and so quiet. And, it's really amazing. Then you see this side. These are some buildings, and they are. So this is how generally the tech campuses look like. Generally, they have these very nice buildings. Of course, the the roads are nice. I mean, the vegetation is nice. So pleasantness. Of course, and the winter is also mild. I mean, it's not a kind of a very aggressive Russian winter. So climatic conditions are nice, and then these simple buildings, and and then people who live here, they have their nice schools as well. So they literally don't have to worry about many things, and then they have food in these tech campuses, and then. Sort of everything is cared for like a baby. So the idea is, when people are cared for more, then they will work more, and so we work better and produce results. So this is the secret of the tech campuses within the Silicon Valley. This is Silicon Valley. So just example of just walking through a few companies here, random walking through the streets, and through some companies here. So this is how a typical Silicon Valley, and when we come from San Francisco to this to San Jose. So by Caltrain, on either side you will find there's many iconic places like Mountain View, which is headquarters for Google, and it used to be headquarters for Sun Microsystems before, and then there's Palo Alto, which was HP before, and probably it is now, and then all these Redwood City, all these are home to all these places are home to one or many of the tech companies. And all these are really, really, I mean, spectacular. In the sense, see, the street is so nice. I mean, so probably, many of the worries are taken care of. I really wonder what the people here working have any worries at all, or I don't know, normal place. You have, so it's just walking through, Silicon Valley with an example of some, companies and their buildings. It's really nice. I mean, small. It's the whole California. I mean, by now I had visited a few places: Los Angeles, San Francisco, and this place. I find that it's with these small hills and small mountains, and then undulating. San Francisco was really good because it was with these undulating mountains and and up and down. San Francisco up and down reminds me of one city in China called Chongqing. Of course, that's a whole another level, but and the up and down roads, and this part of the world is really really a tech hotbed and a tech headquarters. So we see many tech companies in this area. And many of them are obviously millionaires to billionaires. They have made millions and billions. So that's also one of the reasons why, once you make those millions and billions, you can start to a bit experiment with your life, and sometimes you take up things that are more passionate to you, and that's where more innovation probably comes. Once your basic worries of leaving food, clothing, shelter go away, then probably that's where you see these more innovations coming your way, and that's the reason for more innovation probably. But there's no place like Silicon Valley. It is really, I was just walking randomly on the street, and these companies, there is no real place like Silicon Valley. Yeah, very calm and quiet, and these it's really beautiful.